Hey everyone, this is Steve from mywifequitherjob.com. What I want to talk about today is how to evaluate your niche once you've decided upon a set of products that you want to sell. Okay, so let's say you've come up with something, you've brainstormed, you've thought of something that you potentially want to sell online, but you want to get an idea of whether your idea is going to actually work before you even start. Now, basically, there are a couple of factors that drive profitability for your online store. So, first and foremost, you need to figure out whether there is demand for the product that you want to sell. So, what that entails is, are people actually looking for your product online? And the other thing you want to keep track of is whether there actually are competitors within your niche. So if you do a search for something that you want to sell and you find that there's no competitors at all, that's generally a bad sign because that means that there's not a whole lot of demand for that product and there's not a whole lot of people looking for it. Okay? So the second thing that you want to keep track of is whether your niche is actually too competitive or not. And basically what you want to do here is you want to take a look around and look at how strong your competitors are. Do these sites that are competing against you look good? And basically get an idea of how entrenched your competition is within the search engines. So what I found is that doing keyword research with the search engines is actually a great way to determine demand and the level of competition for your particular niche. Now, every single day, billions of people perform product searches on the search engines, and we can kind of use this search data to get an idea of how many people are looking to buy a specific set of products, and we can also analyze the search results to determine how good your competition is, by looking at the top 10 results in search as well. Okay, so how do you perform keyword research? Now, Google and a lot of other online services available often can provide you with keyword search data for which you can use to do your research. But personally, I found that using a tool called Market Samurai has been an extremely efficient way to analyze demand and the level of competition for a given niche once you've come up with an idea for a product to sell. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you an overall walkthrough on how I use Market Samurai to evaluate a specific online store niche idea. So I'm going to start this tutorial off by going to my blog, which is located at mywifequitherjob.com. And then I'm going to scroll down here. And what I want you to do is I want you to click on this. This is actually a link to the Market Samurai software where you can actually sign up for a free 12-day trial. Now, there's no obligation, nothing. Basically, all you need to do is you need to go down here, enter in your name and your email address, and then what will happen is you'll get an email in your inbox with a download link to the software. After which you have 12 full days to analyze and play around with the software, determine whether you want to make a purchase. And in the event that you do want to make a purchase at the end of this tutorial, I have a coupon code for you where you can actually get 33% off the price that's advertised. Okay, so if you don't have the tool already, I would go ahead and download it right now just so you can follow along with this tutorial. And again, there's no obligation on whether to buy. Okay, so let's get started now. This is my Market Samurai interface, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a new project. And the product that I'm going to do some research on in front of you today is a niche that sells chicken coops. Okay, so my keyword in this case for the search engines would be chicken coops. Now, just a little bit of history behind this keyword. Recently, one of my friends had a fresh egg from direct from a chicken for breakfast. And he said it tasted so good that he actually wanted to raise chickens in his backyard. So he was actually looking for chicken coops, and I thought that'd be a good example today, in case I were to decide to open an online store selling chicken coops. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and enter in chicken coop here. I'm going to create a new project. And the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on this keyword research tab. Okay, and what I want to do here is I want to generate keywords. Now, when I click this button, basically what Market Samurai is doing is it's coming up with all the possible permutations for search that revolve around the keywords chicken coop. And it's going to give me a compiled list of all the keyword permutations for which I can then begin my research. Okay, so basically what's happened here is Market Samurai has compiled a list of all possible permutations that revolve around the keyword chicken coop. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this keyword analysis button here. And basically what it's doing here is it's providing me with a list of all the permutations and the number of searches that a user typically makes per day, for that given keyword. So just thought I'd go over a couple of things regarding this interface. Whenever I use Market Samurai, the first thing I always do is I turn it to exact match. And then I make sure that no filters are turned on. Now, Market Samurai is traditionally used, when you want to build niche sites or affiliate sites. So it already has some of these built-in filters, but this tool wasn't designed particularly with e-commerce in mind, so there's actually no filters specifically tailored to e-commerce here. So I just turn them off, and then I go ahead and look at all the keyword combinations. Okay, so a couple of things to point out here. This SEOT parameter is actually the most important parameter on this keyword analysis page. It basically tells you the number of clicks that you will get per day, assuming that you can rank #1 for this particular keyword. Okay, now it's important, the distinction. It's the number of clicks and not the number of searches. So basically this number means the actual traffic that you would receive on your site should you rank for this term #1. Okay, and the fact that I've turned on exact match here means the user actually has to enter in these exact keyword phrases into search in order to garner these traffic numbers. Okay, so once I have all of these numbers in front of me, I can then do further analysis on these keywords to determine the level of competition for this keyword. Okay, so chicken coop is something, and I've already kind of gone through this example already, so I'm going to look at chicken coops for sale as well, which gets 137 clicks per day, assuming you get the top spot in search. Now, before I go and look at the level of competition, I thought I'd just do a little bit of mental math here with you. Now, let's say you have a keyword chicken coops for sale, and it gets 137 clicks per day. Now, if you assume a conversion rate of between 2 and 5%, now just for the sake of example today, let's say you're converting for this keyword at 5%. If you're getting 137 clicks per day going to your site, that means that you're roughly converting about 6 sales per day. And let's say these chicken coops, cost about $500. That means you're making potentially $3,000 in revenue per day, assuming that you can get the #1 spot in search for chicken coops per sale. The other thing to keep in mind when you're doing these mental calculations is that all of the keyword research that I've showed you do thus far has the exact match keyword set, within the tool. And what that means is it's only covering the traffic where a user types in the exact keywords that you're looking for into search. Now, traditionally with the search engines, this is very rare, and what you'll find that there's a whole bunch of different permutations that you'll match for once you rank for the targeted keywords that you're going for. So, for example, chicken coops for sale, when someone types that in, I might also get a user that will land on my page if they type in chicken coop for sale or chicken coops to buy. These are called long tail keyword phrases, and once you start ranking for your main keywords, you're going to find that you'll start ranking for some of these other unrelated phrases as well. And so what's really nice about Market Samurai is it gives you the ability to predict the level of traffic as you start ranking for more long tail keywords. And the way you do this is you go ahead, and we did all of our research in the beginning using exact match, but you can also get an idea of the level of traffic that you'll get once you start matching on certain phrases involving your keywords. So if I switch this to phrase, you'll notice that chicken coops for sale now gets 250 clicks per day as opposed to 137. Okay, and what phrase match means is that when someone types in something into search that uses these keywords in a phrase that contains more keywords. Okay. Now over time you'll find that your search numbers will start to more resemble the phrase search results as opposed to the exact match search results. And even if you look into an even longer time frame, you can go to the broad match keyword phrase for Market Samurai. And basically what this broad match keyword phrase, it represents the best case scenario for searches for your targeted keyword. Let me see if I can find Yeah, so best case scenario, in the long term, if you're ranking very well for your keyword term, best case scenario, you'll get 374 clicks per day with the keyword chicken coops for sale that I'm using in the example. Okay, so based on these three numbers, you can get an idea of what your worst case scenario is, your medium case scenario, and also your best case scenario in terms of revenue for a targeted keyword. But it's important to always start out with exact match keyword phrase because that number represents the base case scenario for your research online. Okay, so just keep that in mind as you're using the tool. The other parameter that you need to play around with also is the conversion rate. Now I mentioned you can use 2% to 5%, and it really depends on the level of competition that you're facing. Okay, so that's just a little bit of mental math here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the level of competition. So the first keyword that I'm going to look at the competition for is this keyword chicken coop. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on the SEO competition page, and then I'm going to click on generate results. So now what Market Samurai is doing now is actually bringing up all the top 10 sites in search that are coming up when you type in chicken coop into the search engines, specifically Google in this case. Okay, so what Market Samurai has done here is it's gone through and basically done a search for chicken coop in Google and has returned the top 10 results of search into a nice interface along with these search engine related parameters. Now, going through each and one of these parameters is kind of beyond the scope of this tutorial, but what's nice here is that Market Samurai has compiled a whole bunch of search engine parameters for you to look at in order to gauge the level of competition with respect to search. Okay, and so some of these parameters, for example, are PageRank, the number of unique domains that have backlinks to this site, the number of backlinks to this particular page, whether this site is actually in some popular directories like DMOZ or Yahoo, whether the keywords are actually used in the title tags, the URL, the meta descriptions, and the heading tags. All this information is nicely compiled by Market Samurai for your review. And the other good thing about it is it color codes certain parameters, so you can kind of get an idea visually of the level of competition. Okay, so red means that it's extremely competitive. Yellow means that it's moderately competitive, and green means that it's pretty good. Okay, so if you look at the keyword chicken coop here, you see a lot of red and yellow and a light amount of green. And without going into too much detail, the keyword chicken coop tends to be a little bit too competitive for me to want to pursue this keyword for an online store. So now I'm going to go and take a look at the other keyword that I picked out earlier, which was chicken coops for sale. I'm going to run the same analysis on it by clicking on the Generate Results tab. And once again, it's pulling all the results for the top 10 competitors in search. And as you can see here, the level of competition for chicken coops for sale is a lot less than just a keyword chicken coop. Okay. The other thing I like about chicken coops for sale is that when someone is typing this keyword in search, there's actually intent to buy because they're actually looking for chicken coops for sale. Okay. Now, of course, you can go ahead and do your own research on what these different parameters are. I go through in my paid course in great depth about what you should look for in each of these parameters in order to analyze your level of competition. Okay. The other thing you also want to look at when you're pursuing a keyword is you actually want to go ahead and click on each one of these search results. And you want to see whether a store that you can put up can possibly do better than the existing search results out there. So for example, if you have a whole bunch of great competitors which have great looking sites and convert really well for the products they want to sell, that means that you might not want to go ahead and pursue that niche. Okay, so just to sum things up, Market Samurai is an excellent piece of software if you want to do keyword research and have a nice, efficient way of analyzing the competitors in search. It brings up all the parameters for how many clicks per day that you would get for a certain keyword. It digs up all the possible permutations for a specific keyword so you can choose one to target for your online store. And it actually brings up all the competitors all in a nice one interface so you can analyze the level of competition based on these search results. So that's pretty much all I have for today. You should go ahead and download the tool, play around with it. Once again, there's no obligation. And I'll go ahead and display the coupon code here on the screen in a little bit.